This pâté really is simple and just relies on the deep flavours of the ingredients that go into it, which is why I like to use the breast meat of game birds like partridge, pigeon, pheasant, filleting off the breast meat and removing any skin or sinew. It's always a good opportunity whilst filleting off the flesh to look for lead shot, so your diners don't find it at the table. If the bird is big enough, the legs can be taken off and used for confit. The rest of the carcasses can be used to make a lovely deep flavoured stock for a separate dish. As well as the deep game flavour of the meat, we're going to add more depth of flavour by marinating the meat. In the marinade goes garlic, crushing the cloves with the flat side of a knife, and a few sprigs of thyme. As well as the game, I'm using pork loin, again any sinew and fat removed. That too goes into the bowl, ready for marinating. Now it's just a good grind of pepper, a slug of cognac, and some olive oil. Then cover and place in the fridge overnight. Next day, we remove the meats from the marinade and cut up into half-inch cubes. That's between 1 and 2 centimetres. Again, searching through the meat, looking for any lead shot that can be removed now. Now these meats get browned in a hot pan in goose fat to add more flavour. We fry in batches so as not to overcrowd the pan, otherwise the meat will just sweat instead of brown off nicely. And once the meats are all browned, we rest those to cool down, seasoning with a little salt. Those cubes of meat will form the chunks that sit within the main body of the pâté. Again, using the goose fat, we'll grease our terrine mould or loaf tin, either will do. I'm greasing both here because the quantities I'm using here are for a double batch of pâté, because it's so handy to have in the freezer. We line the moulds with slices of pancetta, or you can use streaky bacon. Allowing some pancetta to hang down the sides, ready to fold over the top of the pâté once the moulds have been filled. The main body of the pâté is sausage meat, which we'll either buy as is or remove from the skins of sausages. Always choosing a high meat content sausage, between 80 and 90% meat. Once we've got our sausage meat in a bowl, we'll soften it with a spoon or by working it with our hands, and then we can add some cream, 2 large handfuls of chopped tarragon, a handful of chopped parsley, and some chopped thyme. The browned off meats now get added to the bowl and worked through the rest of the meat. Then we fill the loaf tin or terrine mould with the pâté mixture. Once the mixture's in, fold over the pancetta and cover with 2 layers of foil, crimping tightly down around the lip. Place the terrine moulds into a large roasting tin and fill with boiling water halfway up the side of the moulds, and place in the oven for about an hour. The metal loaf tin sometimes cooking quicker than the one in the terrine mould. This time that one took about 20 minutes extra before it was cooked. The way to tell if it's cooked is by touching the top and seeing if it feels firm. Once done, leave to cool and refrigerate overnight to firm up. When you're ready to slice, dip the moulds into boiling water for a minute or 2. That'll liquefy the fat around the edge, and you can remove the pâté. Slice and serve, or freeze for when you need it.